Hello guys, my name is Levi and I had huge dreams of having a loving family. Since I grew up in foster care, having a family meant everything to me. I really thought that I had fulfilled that dream with my husband Dean and son Brian. Also, Dean's mother, Chrissy, loved me a lot and grew close to me. For years, I was living the perfect dream. I had a home, a loving husband and a son. My husband didn't even let me work because he wanted to take care of me while I raised our child. I was over the moon and truly thought that my life couldn't get any better. I was right. My happiness lived only for a limited time. One day when I was back from grocery shopping, I found that my house was empty. My son was at his grandma's house to spend time with her, but my husband was supposed to be home. When I walked in through the door, something was amiss. I called out for my husband, but my house was dead silent. My husband was nowhere to be found. I was alarmed to find that my house was completely empty. On the table lay some papers I had never seen before. I picked them up and saw that they were divorce papers with my husband's signature. My life came crashing down around me. I didn't know what to do or what to make of the situation. Brian was still at Chrissy's place, so he wasn't there to witness it. Dean's clothes were all gone. I immediately panicked and tried to call him. He didn't pick up the call, and I said, "Dean, where are you? Why are your clothes gone? I don't understand. Tell me what is the matter." "I have left the house, Levi. I have moved away somewhere else. I am not coming back home." "What are you talking about? You can't just get up and leave one day. You need to come back home and explain yourself. I am your wife. I deserve to know what is going on." "Look, Levi, there's no reason for you to be so dramatic. I am tired of being in this awful marriage with you. I just can't deal with this anymore. After Brian was born, we no longer have any fun money. He takes up all my spare money. I couldn't just do it anymore. I'm done with you." "Dean, what is wrong with you? This is the reason you are leaving me? Do you even hear your words? You just said that you don't like to take care of your own son. What kind of parent are you? The kind who doesn't want to be a parent anymore. I'm done with you and Brian sucking me dry. It's unfair to me. I don't want this life. I want a life where I get to enjoy my money all by myself. I guess you have seen the divorce papers on the table. Sign them and call me when it's done. Don't try to find me. I won't come back." Unfortunately for me, God kept nothing good in my life for long. When Brian was 15, Chrissy was diagnosed with a terminal illness. I won't mention the illness because Chrissy never wanted to talk about these things with people, but things got bad very fast. We all tried our best to help Chrissy get the medical aid she needed. No matter what we did, it was impossible to save her. Brian and I were devastated. However, Chrissy always held strong and asked us to be strong as well. A few days before she died, she said to me, "Levi, you have to be strong for yourself and Brian. A storm will come after I pass away." I always knew this would happen, and I was prepared.
Chrissy, what are you talking about? I don't even want to imagine what would happen if you leave us. It suffocates me and breaks my heart. Don't say these things.
No, Levi, you need to hear this. I know for a fact that Dean will show up after I die. You need to listen to me if you want to be able to face him. I have been preparing. Yes, it had been 7 years since Dean had left us and went missing. Yes, he never called or even texted after I told him about the divorce. He was always moving from one place to another, so it was hard to track him down.
At one point, I had almost stopped thinking of him. But Chrissy never did. She had not forgiven him for abandoning us, and neither did I. So when Chrissy told us what she had planned all along, I was thrilled. Dean would never see what hit him. Chrissy passed away just a year after her diagnosis. We were devastated. I lost the only parent I had found in this life. Brian was also equally devastated. I had a hard time consoling him and myself. I felt like I was thrown back 8 years in time when Dean had left me. Only now the pain was much worse. I had lost someone who loved me just as much as I loved her. Chrissy was right about Dean. He did show up at the funeral which he didn't even help to organize. Me and Brian noticed him right away. He said, "What is that man doing here, Mom?" "Tell him to leave. I can't stand seeing him here." He not only abandoned us, but also Chrissy as well. He doesn't deserve to be here. Son, don't get riled up. He's not worthy of your energy. Besides, it's good that he came. Me and Chrissy expected him to be here today. Let him stay. He'll get his just desserts today.
Are you planning something, Mom? You need to tell me about it.
No, it was Chrissy who planned it all. I only added the finishing touches. Now it's time for me to see the plan work like Chrissy had imagined.
After the service was over, Dean approached me in front of everyone. I guess he ignored the way the people were staring at him. Yes, they looked shocked and disgusted. Everyone knew the truth. Dean didn't care what they thought of him. He had only one thing in mind. He said,
"Fancy seeing you here, Levi. I thought you would stop contact with my mother once we were divorced. I should have seen it coming. She did like you a lot. I can see Brian as well. He looks like you. It just makes me feel even better about leaving. That child doesn't even look like me."
Don't talk about Brian. You already told us that we mean nothing to you. Why the hell are you here anyway? What made you show your face here after 8 freaking years?
Don't be so dramatic, Levi. My mother has just passed away. I should be at her funeral. I am her son. Don't make me laugh at a funeral, Dean. If your love for Chrissy was so deep, you would have at least given her a call in the last 8 years.
Do make me laugh at a funeral, Dean. If your love for Chrissy was so deep, you would have at least given her a call in the last 8 years. Tell me the real reason why you are here. Well, I am here for my inheritance, of course. My mother didn't have as much as I would have liked, but she did have some assets. Since I am her only heir, I have come to collect it.
I looked at Dean's confident expression and literally started to laugh in his face. Dean looked very confused and embarrassed by my reaction. He said,
What are you laughing about, Dean? I only spoke the truth. I am the sole heir to my mother's estate. My inheritance is well-deserved since I was her one and only son.
"You know, I've bought an apartment nearby so that I can manage my mom's estate from here. Guess you will see more of me now."
You have a lot of confidence in your status as a son, especially since you didn't even come to see your mother when she was dying. Anyway, if you think you have a big inheritance, you are wrong. What do you mean, Dean? Don't make jokes about this. You know, jokes about money matters piss me off.
Why would I joke about this, Levi? You are right, though. Chrissy did leave you an inheritance. It's a total of $1 and a lawsuit. Meanwhile, the rest of her estate has been given to Brian. No. You're lying. This can't be the truth. I can't get $1 as my inheritance.
Chrissy's executor is right here, Dean. Why don't you go and ask him? He has the papers and everything, you know?
Dean stormed off to the executor and demanded to see the will Chrissy had left. When he read through all the documents, Dean couldn't believe his eyes. He was shaking with anger and looked really pale. He walked up to me and said,
You are responsible for this. You must have brainwashed my mother into signing away the property to Brian. He's a child and doesn't deserve anything. I deserve the whole inheritance.
Chrissy was your mother, Dean. You should know that she is not someone that I or you can manipulate. As for Brian, he may be a child, but he's the other heir of Chrissy's estate. When you left us, Chrissy became Brian's guardian, so he has full claim over her assets. As for the lawsuit, Chrissy has sued you for the years of missed child support payments that you didn't make.
No. This can't be happening. There's no way you can get money out of me. I came here to get my inheritance. I didn't come here to lose my money. I don't even consider Brian my son.
Well, guess what, Dean? It doesn't matter. You are his father and owe child support money. In fact, since I never remarried, you also have unpaid alimony towards me for the last 8 years. And don't worry, I plan to sue you for that too.
Dean was horribly dumbstruck by what I said. He started to scream and yell at me for ruining his life. It's ironic, right? This man abandoned his family and is now claiming that I ruined his life. I had no words for him, really. I held my tongue and told security to escort him out. To escort him out? I'll give you a short version of what followed next. Dean was hit with 2 big lawsuits at once. He had no way to escape. The cops cordoned him and he was forced to attend the legal proceedings. After fighting for 6 months, he was forced to pay all his dues. To avoid jail time for fraud, he had to take a huge debt and sell his newly bought apartment. He did beg me to withdraw my lawsuit. He even dared to try and include Brian in this mess, but Brian told him that he deserves this. In the end, I was left with a huge bank balance and Brian got all of Chrissy's estate. Dean is on the run from his debtors and has disappeared from the face of the earth again. Me and Brian miss Chrissy a lot. We still stayed at the house and plan to be there for the rest of our lives. I know I will be lonely when Brian goes off to college, but I'm sure I'll find some happiness in my life again.